straight through. Double aim, my eyes see your face, searching for a straight through. Still double aim, my eyes see your face, searching for a straight through. Double aim, my eyes see your face, searching for a straight through. Still double aim, my eyes see your face, searching for a straight through. Double aim, my eyes see your face, searching for a straight.
And we are live. See, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to a big one today, yeah, and it's the season finale of the rival show. Of course, my co-host Traps is in the building, in some vacation location kind of thing going on down there. See, I got special guest down here, TJ Warren from TJ Warren TV. My brother, you're welcome to the show, man.
Thanks again for having me on. 2 days in a row, man. I feel like it's my birthday, but it's a long way away. So I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, exactly, man. See, yeah, this guy needs no other introduction. Yeah, as you can see his name. See, they're already pumping the chest out here. Yeah, treble loading. See, it's no other person than our in-house contributor, of course, resident contributor, Manchester City, our big friend, and also my personal friend too, Onome Soje. Onome, big ups to you, man.
What's happening, people? Nice for having me, man.
Yeah, big ups, man. Traps, shout out yourself. You own the show too, so shout out yourself. I won't shout you out.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here, honoring my responsibility for the last time this season. Yeah. I'm here to go round and round in circles with Tony as usual. Yeah. And pretty much, yeah, put him in his place. This is the last time. Today I want to see some accountability. I want to see some acceptance. I want to see some self-awareness. I want to see some humble pie. That's what I want to see.
See, yeah, talking about humble pies. See, TJ Warren, yeah, see, we had this back and forth. And Onome, please listen to this because you have to chime in on this too. We're having this back and forth, yeah, yesterday. But I want this show to be a more logical one in a sense, yeah. Let's talk facts, yeah. TJ Warren, yeah. Do you think Manchester United season, does it trumps Arsenal season in any way? Just state the fact. Take us through what you think. Do you think Manchester United have literally done quite well than Arsenal this season in your own books?
Yes. They won a trophy and they're in the Champions League. They had a better season than we did in the end. If we had finished our dinner and won the league like in my opinion we should have, I would be dancing all over Trap's grave right now, but I can't. So that's why when people like Deji come with chess yesterday, I will go toe to toe. But guys like Traps, man, it's tough. It's tough to argue when they have silverware and we don't. And I know like there's this, oh well, it's a Mickey Mouse Cup. Oh well, we have a chance at a Community Shield. Nah. I want actual trophies. I want trophies that we can be proud of, that aren't just one-off charity games. So that's the standard that I set for Arsenal Football Club, and they let me down this season. It is what it is. Like they've been letting me down the last 10 years, save for a few FA Cups, man. So I'm disappointed, but at the same time, I'm still going to back my club. I chose this club. God knows why, but I'm going to back them no matter what. So hopefully we get the job done during the transfer window this offseason. We'll see what comes out in the wash.
Yeah, sure. See, Onome, you've heard our special guest, TJ Warren, yeah? See, would you like to add something to that, or do you have a different idea altogether? Do you think Manchester United's season actually trumps Arsenal's season? who played the best football? Like, what's in your head about Manchester United and Arsenal? Compare, contrast. What do you think?
In my opinion, I would also agree that United had a better season. When the season starts and you go into the season, right? This for the top clubs, there's two targets really: finish top four, win a trophy, right? The league is a very hard trophy to win. The league is there's only two teams or maybe one team that competes for the league every year, kind of thing, right? So that's a difficult trophy to win. So as a club, you want to be winning stuff, right? To prepare yourself. We won 4 Carabao Cup in a row, right? Call it what you want. It's a trophy. It's a Wembley outing that is memorable to everybody, right? And when you turn up for those games, it's a cup final. You want to be playing indoors. That's how you get better. That's how you get experience and stuff. So yes, Arsenal, did well in the league this year, improved from last year. But when you now go back, like Ferdinand said on his podcast as well, at the end of the season, as a player, as a footballer, when you finish your career, you want to look back and look at the trophies that you won. You're never going to look back and go, there was a season when I did really well for my team and we finished second together. Nobody is ever going to look at that or count that, right? If you look at the Leicester team, for example, that won the league, right? You've got any kind of players in that team, but they can boast of a Premier League medal. That I won the league with Leicester. Do you know what I mean? So on that season, they will be remembered and say they won the league on that year, right? And it doesn't matter what anyone else wants to say, they won the league on that year. So when you're watching Premier League years, as they show on Sky Sports, at the end of it, you see who lifts the trophy. I don't remember who finishes second or third or fourth. If you ask me where Man City finished 10 years ago or whatever, I don't remember. If you ask me where we finished in the last 5-6 years, I'll tell you. Do you know what I mean? So for me, Arsenal had Manchester United had a better season, and they also appeared in another cup final, which is like I said, another great experience for them to appear in these cup finals. You want to be appearing in these cup finals as a big club because these cup finals are only competed by the top teams, right? It's a one-off where you get the Championship team coming in the FA Cup final, a one-off where you get the lower Premier League team coming in the FA Cup final. Apart from that, it's the top 4 teams that come in these competitions anyway. So go and win it. Do you know
Go
what I mean?
and win it, yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah. I buy your idea. See, guys, Arsenal are above all. Yeah, it comes into the channel. It's in our charts down there. MUFC Global, big ups to you, yeah. MUFC Global, that's a MUFC Global, thanks for always being on this show with us, man. Sports Boy says, big ups, bro, is down here. The Assembled is down here also. And guys, no other person than the legend himself, yeah. Who are you? The legend himself is here. Jess Collins is down here with us, and he says Man United and West Ham have done better. They won trophies. Arsenal played the better football, but that don't mean anything. I completely buy that idea.
Yeah, Jess took the words right out of my mouth.
Traps. You've heard what everyone have said, yeah? Look into this Arsenal Manchester United season, yeah? Who played the best football for you? Whose season is more successful by your own standards?
Tony, you're struggling to say it. What's the matter? What are you struggling for? Relax, man. The season's over now. But yeah, listen. I think Arsenal fans are the only ones that do this comparison stuff. If you look on it on the value on the face value of the whole season, is everybody sets out on day one to come home with trophies, whether it be the Carabao Cup. It might not be the trophy that you wanted, but it's a trophy if you're in a position to go and win. And for me, if you look at the situations of the top 4 right now, it's Manchester City, it's Man United, it's Arsenal, it's Newcastle. Newcastle was in a cup final. Manchester United was in 2 cup finals. Man City was in 1 cup final. The only ones that won in a cup final was Arsenal because, yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't really know, but from the look of things, it looks like Arteta had bigger fish to fry, supposedly, and he opted out of certain things and taking certain things seriously to the level that it should have been at for them to compete for these trophies. So at the end of the day, next season we're going in as Carabao Cup champions. Man City fans are not going to rubbish the Carabao Cup because they won it 4 times.
We
And they
love
take
the
it very
Carabao Cup.
serious.
We love
And
it.
they take it very seriously, and they set a precedence for everybody else because they are the best club at the minute in England, and they take the Carabao Cup seriously. So nobody else in the league can tell me anything differently because they're the ones. And so we're going as champions next season. We're going into the Champions League, same as Arsenal. And as I said, Arsenal, United start. In the beginning, they were 6 points. They didn't get any points from the first 2 games. For them to go to where they was, having to play Liverpool as the 3rd game, everyone thought we was going to get beat, and that would be us finishing 7th or 8th. For us to get from there, bottom of the league, all the way to Champions League football and win a trophy, regardless of the football or how it's done or how pragmatic Erik ten Hag has been, he's made it work. So Man United have had a better season by far.
Yeah. See, despite this being the rival show, I'll hit that humble pie. Yeah, today for you, Traps. Yeah, I'll eat it. I'll take accountability. I'll take responsibility. Arsenal bottled it this season. Yeah, we bottled it. Yeah, there's no question about that. I'm part of that. I'm part of that fan base. Yeah, that really believes that we really fluffed our lines this season. The stars were aligned for us to win the title this season, and we didn't just do it. And these domestic titles that Arsenal should have been meddling in, at least finding our way to the finals of the Europa League would have been something, tempting. Yeah, it should have been. It should have been at least that final. Let's have a go. Try and win it. Yeah. But we just went out of all these competitions. And at the end of the day, left with no domestic title. Man, it's horrible. The thing is, see, yeah, I would not say Mikel Arteta actually had the balls to actually get out of all these domestic cup competitions. But the thing there is, when you leave in these domestic competitions for the bigger fish, right? You better make sure you fry the bigger fish. You don't leave these other competitions. You don't get out of those competitions, yeah, to fry the bigger fish and get in there and there's no fish at all, or there's not even oil to even fry the fish. That's just how our season went. Yeah, we played good football. I really do feel that Arsenal played good football this season, one of the best football this season. But just like Jess said, it takes you nowhere. It's not about how you play. It's about, at the end of the day, it's about the trophies. And that's what Manchester City have shown this season. They've won trophies. Yeah, back to back. FA Cup, they've tied up the league. They've won that, dusted. And this Saturday, I think we might be seeing a treble. Might be seeing a treble this season from Manchester City. I do agree that Manchester United they've got a better season than Arsenal. But it's not like I respect the Mickey Mouse Cup anyway. But I'll give that to you. I feel it's a Mickey Mouse Cup.
Yeah, that's right. Don't respect it.
Want to do better, if you want to do better, go out there and have a better season than West Ham. Because
can I touch on that?
Parameters you're using to judge now, it shows that West Ham had a better season than Manchester United.
Can I touch on that, Tony? Can I touch on that? Right?
Yeah,
sure. What you just said, where you say you don't respect the Mickey Mouse Cup. Let me tell you something about this squad depth situation. I
did not say it's not a cup. I said it's a cup, but I don't respect the title itself.
That's fine. Let me tell you something about this squad depth situation that you guys are crying for and everyone's talking about. There is a very small secret to this, right? That nobody is clocking. And Manchester City is doing it every season in front of your eyes, and nobody's actually understanding what they're doing. I love Raheem Sterling to bits, and I was really gutted when he left. I really miss him. I was really gutted when he left because, for me anyway, obviously, he's the one playing the football. He knows why he left and fall out with Pep or whatever, right? But when you come to squad depth, right? Manchester City, I've got the squads in front of me. We have literally about first team players, like proper first team players, the ones earning the big bucks in our team. We have about maybe 17 of them, 16, 17 of them, right? And then we have about 3 or 4 youth team players, graduates from our youth team that's good, right? What this squad depth means is when you're going for all 4 competitions, right? Every player in your squad is going to be razor sharp, ready to go, because there is games for them to play. An average player an average player in the Manchester City squad gets at least 25 to 30 starts every season. We got young Rico Lewis, who got about 14 to 15 starts this season at 18. That is because we go for every competition. That's what squad depth is. And that's why these players are razor sharp, ready to go. So when they call upon in the Premier League, for example, they are ready to go. They come to training and they don't even know whether they're going to be playing on Saturday or not playing on Saturday because they're ready to go. As far as they know, there's games to play and they're ready to go. They're playing every 3 days. So no player has any time to go and knock on the manager's door going, why am I not playing? No player has any time to think, oh, I'm not going to play next week. In 3 days' time, there's another game. In 3 days' time, there's another game. So if you want to be a top club, right, you've got to get rid of the mentality of it's a Mickey Mouse Cup. This is how you maintain a happy squad. This is how you maintain your squad depth being happy and everybody's happy. And you can get 17 to 16 quality players, right, who are on the big box. Get 3 or 4 youth team players to add to that. And if you're going for every competition, I guarantee you, nobody's going to be out of shape or out of whatever. And then when it's time for them to actually step up, they're not fit enough and they're not ready because they don't have any competition that they're playing. Because back in the day, we used to have the reserve team. You have to first team and a reserve team. If you don't play in the first team, play in the reserve team. Now it's not like that anymore. If you don't play in the first team, you don't get to play on the under-23s. So there's no games for you. So all these games, these cup games, Carling Cups and FA Cups, they're like I don't want to disrespect it. It's not a reserve game or anything like that because you still play your first team players. But they are games that get your players ready and sharp, ready to go. So when you call upon them in the Premier League, they will perform and you'll be like, oh my God, where's that?
They'll perform. But see, let's turn this into a little bit of an argument here. See, Traps and TJ Warren, is Onome gloating because he has the luxury to do that? No, see where I'm going to. I understand what he's saying. I'm not attacking him in any way, but I'm just asking, is he speaking out of a position of luxury? Because these guys,
I mean,
see, there's squad depth, yeah? Manchester United doesn't have that kind of squad depth. Arsenal doesn't have that squad depth. So when he's talking about squad depth, to go all out on all domestic titles, they have that luxury.
Tony, I'm gonna challenge you. We League Cup, for example. Okay, we started Carl Hein against Brighton, a Premier League squad. Our third string goalkeeper. We didn't even start Turner. That is how seriously Arteta was taking these domestic cup competitions, which is one of the most frustrating things about Arteta, is that he didn't care about that competition. He didn't care. When half of the fan base is crying out for trophies, half of the fan base is saying, please just win something so we can stop eating crap from guys like him and guys like freaking Traps. It's one of those things where, like, if we want to talk about squad depth, we can talk about playing the squad depth that we have in competitions that we can actually win. So
do we have squad depth? Do we have squad depth? Because we had enough squad depth.
So we had enough squad depth, Tony, to beat Brighton in the League Cup. Okay, we did. But Carl Hein is a joke. He's a joke. He doesn't deserve to win the sweater, and half of the guys in the reserves and the bench don't either. And I'm calling out Fabio Vieira again because I have to. For some reason, people in this fan base think that he's the guy that is gonna, 35 million pounds from Portugal, and he could get blown away by a little gust of wind. Like, this is the depth that we have, Tony. and when we play them incorrectly.
So good. See, if that squad depth is good enough, because this is your defense now, yeah. If that squad is good enough to beat Brighton, is that squad depth good enough to beat Manchester United in that final? These are the things I'm saying. Is it that Arsenal have squad depth or we don't have squad depth? We can't in one breath say Arsenal doesn't have enough squad depth, and in one breath say we have enough squad depth to beat certain teams. Which is which?
Well, it's Brighton. You're talking about Brighton versus Manchester United. I don't think you can just in different competitions. I don't really think you can compare the two, to be 100% honest with you. So it's one of those things where it comes down to the manager in our respect, Tony, because Arteta did not respect those competitions, and therefore we went out in the 5th round of the FA Cup, and we went out in the 4th of the League Cup, something embarrassing like that. Like, come on, man! Like we have the I think we have the squad depth, like at initially to go deep in those competitions, but as soon as we're out and we're competing for a league title, we send all these guys out on loan, and then we're screwed for the rest of the season because we're thin at certain positions, or we didn't get the business done during the transfer window. There's so many different things you can like, and here's the problem with Arsenal is, yeah, we finished 2nd, but there are so many cracks in the foundation right now that need addressing that I don't think are going to get addressed by this sporting director, let alone the manager, let alone KSE. And I can go into all of that all day long and wax lyrical about it, but it's one of those things where the long and the short of it is, Tony, we did not take any of these competitions seriously, and when it came down to it, our squad depth was not enough to win the Premier League because we had a freaking really, really weak transfer window in the winter, man. We did.
True.
You got to eat it.
True. Fact. See, Traps, of course you have to come in, yeah. See, Manchester United winning the Carabao Cup, is it due to the fact that you guys had the squad depth to compete at that level, or is it that that was just what your coach could afford to do this season? I mean, do you have enough squad depth, or don't you have enough squad depth? What is it?
I'll be honest with you. The squad depth situation, the squad depth argument is just an argument. Yeah, it's an excuse. At the end of the day, it's an excuse.
Yeah.
And because if you look at Man City, for instance, right? I mean, I know you were saying, "Oh, we get all the players ready, and these are the competitions." I don't agree with that. I don't think they just use these competitions to get players ready. I think that they actually go out there. The art of competing is to compete on all levels. That's an ethos.
Oh yeah, that's
an ethos.
It's not that
Let him finish. You come in.
So for me, it's like cool. If you're gonna compete, because I mean, you should see back in the day. You see Alex Ferguson do it. He never took the League Cup seriously. He played the kids in there. He played in the 4th and 5th round. He played the kids in the 4th, 5th round of the FA Cup. When it started getting to the serious rounds, then you see the big boys turn up. But nowadays, it's not like that because competitions, like everyone, like Man City have set a precedence that every cup must be taken seriously, and now everyone's taking every cup seriously. You'll see the big boys playing in every game. And for me, it's like if you're not competing on all levels, i.e. Europe, the Carabao Cup, the league, then you're not ready to compete. For me, I think Arteta's come from a place where they've won the Carabao Cup. They take it very seriously. So for him to now go and get a managerial job based on the experience that he's had, and then not take it seriously, that shows you alarm bells. Something is wrong. And for me, what was wrong is that it's not a question of him being able to compete or squad depth. It's a thing where he knew he couldn't believe his luck at the halfway point. He was 50 points, 19 games. And at the end of the day, he started to believe in this winning the league thing. He could win the league. But in the grand scheme of things, United have got to a quarterfinal of the European. They've got to both finals in the league, and they've finished in the top 3 of the league. Man City have got to the final of two trophies. They got to the semi-final of one. They're in they've won the league. So no one's thrown these cups away. The only person that's decided to do that is Arsenal. Wait, let me finish. Let me finish.
No.
No, you're not. Listen, Tony. You're not listening.
On all grounds. You're
not listening. You're not
So the
listening.
way
You're not
he's talking
listening.
about United,
You're not.
it's looking
You're not
as if
listening. You're not listening, guy. Listen, you're not listening, bruv. You're not
on all
listening.
grounds,
I'm not
and it's
doing
not
this. You
true.
know, I'll be honest with you. I'm not, bro. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. If you want to hear my analogy or my explanation, take it in and listen, or otherwise forget it. Yeah, because I'm telling you right now, Arteta did not compete for certain things because people are blaming the squad depth. He thought he could go and win the league. Yeah, he's gonna bet his last tenner in Ladbrokes and end up with nothing. Yeah, that's not my fault. That's just the reality of things. Do you know what I mean? Like he took a gamble on winning the league and he failed. And that's his own fault because if you'd end up with a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup, you lot won't be talking this right now. You'll be acting like this right now. So at the end of the day, he's the one that's come from a place where they take things very seriously. He chose not to because he thought he could do a cheat code and win the league, and it's backfired now. It's not nothing to do with squad depth because you have to remember. Look at our squad depth. In the start of the season, we lost Ronaldo, we lost our striker. Yeah, we lost Ericsson for months. Yeah, for months and months and months. Who else did we lose? Rashford was out for a few games. Martial injured all the time. So how did we get to the cup
doing
final?
anything for you, Traps?
Well,
Come
Martial
on.
has always been a
It's not.
garbage
It's
player.
it's
Come
not.
on,
It's
man.
not. It's not the point.
point.
You're saying Ronaldo isn't doing anything for us, but last season, yeah,
Last
Ronaldo
season, we're
scored
talking about this
24
season,
goals.
Traps.
No, listen, Ronaldo scored 24 goals last season. At the
Last
end
season.
of the day,
We're talking about this season.
So listen. Can you understand what I'm saying? Last season, Ronaldo scored 24 goals last season, so no one can't say Ronaldo ain't doing nothing this season. He had a fallout and he left. We had no striker. What striker did we have?
Rashford.
The winger.
Rashford plays on the left. He fills in at striker. His best mission is on the left. He plays most of his best football is played on the left. We had Wout Weghorst in January. Yeah, Wout Weghorst, 2 goals in all competitions. That's what we had. So you're talking to me about squad depth. How did we get to 2 finals and finish 3rd in the league? Yeah, with the squad depth that we have. Look at our bench on last week Saturday. Who do we have to bring on? Weghorst and Garnacho. That is it. No one else ain't doing that. Weghorst ain't doing the damn thing. Garnacho is the only one that's doing the damn thing.
Problem. But do you accept you have a squad depth problem? That's what I'm saying. Just admit it that you have a squad depth problem.
Yeah, but listen, we have a problem that we have to address, but the problem that
Exactly.
it doesn't mean that.
How
No.
hard was that?
Don't try and move the goalpost. No, don't try and move the goalpost here. We do have a squad depth problem, but the squad depth problem is not the reason why we got to the cup finals. Huh? Like, you know what I'm saying? We got to cup finals with our squad depth problem, so that's not an excuse in my book. I'll be honest, it's not an excuse. It's a mentality thing. Arteta thought he could go and win the league, yeah, with the cheat code, and it backfired. That's what happened, in my opinion.
Forget Arteta. We're talking about your own football club. Manchester City have a player that could give them 65 goals in a season. You don't. See,
So what does that mean?
Squad depth on different levels. They have Alvarez who could score goals. There's no shame in admitting that Manchester City have a much bigger depth squad.
Tony, you're waffling. Tony, you're waffling right now. Tony, you're waffling right now. Tony, you're waffling, mate. Tony, you're waffling again. You're just waffling again, bro. Bruv, you're waffling because you asked about squad depth and it being a problem. We've got to 2 cup finals and qualify for the Champions League with our squad depth problems. What has this got to do with Haaland scoring 65 goals?
Well, you didn't win the FA Cup. How about that? You didn't win the
Mate,
Europa
listen,
League.
this is
You know,
and you won nothing.
no problems. Yeah, because Arsenal flopped their lines.
Bearing in mind as well, yeah. Bearing in mind, Eric Ten Hag, yeah, has bought 5 players. He's bought 5, yeah. He's bought 5 players. Pep Guardiola's bought God knows how many players. Klopp's bought God knows how many players, yeah. That whole team is now Arteta's full team. He's bought 18 players or something more, or maybe I think it's 21 players. In fact, he's bought 21 players. He's bought, yeah. So how can you tell me about squad depth if he's bought 21 players? 21.
Well,
you're moaning about Fabio Vieira.
He's buying projects, Traps. He's buying projects.
Yeah? It's not only about squad depth. It's also about having quality players that are part of that squad depth. I'm sorry, we don't have it. We don't have that.
Okay,
Well,
so
whose fault
players
is
that
that?
Listen,
fault
hold a
is that?
second.
Why don't you have it?
Onome, you have that. You have that.
Yeah,
You
but
have
I'm saying,
quality
whose fault is
players.
that? Why don't you have it? Whose fault is that? Because when I look at
Of course.
your squad that I've got in front
Welcome
of
to
me,
our world.
when I
Welcome
look
to
at your
me and
squad that I've
TJ's
got in
world.
front of me,
Welcome
numbers
to our
wise,
world.
you got these
The
players.
coach, the
It
board,
depends on what you
everyone, all
decide
of
to
them. They're
sign.
all our fault.
It
All of
depends
them.
it depends what you guys decide to sign. It depends on your
That's what I'm
whole
saying.
system.
You could argue that Arsenal, because Traps have just said, hey, Arteta brought in 21 players. Good. The 21 players who are killers in that team, who are assassins in that team, none of them. I see none.
Listen,
Yes,
I'm
a
in
little bit of
the next.
Zinchenko, but it's done. None of them are killers. None of them are assassins. And I need warriors to come into my team. I need class warriors. Someone like Kevin De Bruyne who will come in and change the game. Someone like Mahrez off the bench who would come in and change the game. Okay, how about Alvarez? Yeah, coming to a game and change the game. How about the game against Everton that Man City didn't even? They had to rest about 5 first-team players. Yeah, if that makes sense, to beat up Everton with no problem. And Everton just beat up Brighton a week before, like about 6-1 or something, completely obliterated this team, yeah? Coming back fighting for, they were in this relegation scrap, right? So they had everything to play for in that game against Man City. And Man City, easy, without having the first 11.
You gotta let that game go, man. That's not where the league was lost.
No one can argue about this. No one can argue about this. There's something about your squad depth.
You gotta let that game go. That's not where the league was lost. I understand the pain in which when Man City won against Everton and you guys felt like deflated and you lost at home and the league was won there, but you gotta let that game go. What it is right, when teams get their fixtures at the beginning of the season, right, they do this thing, and I've been in change rooms where they do this thing where they sort of, go through the list of games, and the managers do it at least, definitely. And they kind of write 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, draw, maybe tricky. I guarantee you, almost every team would have written against Man City, would have written 0 points, right, at the beginning of the season. If you get something, that's great. But almost every team would have written, yeah, we ain't getting nothing out of Man City, home or away, right? So when Everton are fighting for their lives, right, they look at the Brighton game as, boys, this is a must win, because guess what? Next week we're not really expecting much. So if we win today, boys, we'll try our best next week. But it's so vital that we win today. And they played it very well. They won against Brighton, they lost against Man City, and the rest is history. They survived. Do you know what I mean? So that's how it comes when it goes like that. So you can't rely on teams to beat Man City for you. You got to get the job done yourself. You appeared on that games, the 2 games. Your team was on the pitch for 2 games against Man City, 6-point games in the league. Why on earth are you relying on bloody Everton? Why on earth are you relying on Stoke City and Rambo FC to beat Man City so you can win the league? You was in front of Man City, face front audition. Kevin De Bruyne was literally touching distance from your players. Beat them if you can. Right? So don't worry about anybody else. You beat Man City in those 2 games, you win the league. That's what Man City did. They beat in the 2 games and that's 6 points. And I kept telling you at the beginning of the season, Tony, I said, Tony, after you play Man City home and away, and you guys still have that lead, then you can talk to me about winning the league. But until then, don't tell me about 5-point lead when you've not played us twice. Don't tell me about 8-point lead when you've not played us twice. Because guess what? We beat you in those 2 games. It is tricky, ass quick bomb time for you. And that's exactly what happened.
TJ, do you have anything to say to this?
He's right.
Yeah, they're always right.
I don't look. If I could come in and say and come in sideways and give you some sort of argument, I would. But we lost the league by 1,000 paper cuts, right? Like death by 1,000 paper cuts on this one. Okay, like we saw the cracks during. I don't think we necessarily saw the cracks against United earlier in the season. We played a high line. We got beat at Old Trafford. That's the way it is. It's hard to go into Old Trafford and win. I wasn't too upset by that. I honestly did not expect us to win that match. But when we're losing away at Everton 1-0, when they are bottom of the table, you start to see the cracks. When we cannot beat Leeds away, when we can't beat Southampton away, that's when we start seeing the cracks. Okay. So I can't argue with what Treble is saying, but hopefully the management and the sporting director and the overall owners of the team can recognize where we fell short and actually address those issues, which I'm not 100% confident in them doing. So, like, did we play the prettier football? Yeah, we did overall. Like, were we more consistent than Man United? Yes, throughout the season. But where we ended was not on par with where they ended. Where we ended was not on par with where, like, Newcastle United ended. You know, we all ended up getting Champions League football in the end. Were we prettier doing it? Yeah. But in the end, what does that mean? Right?
Yeah.
So hopefully, all I can say, Tony, to these arguments is like, we can't necessarily win these arguments. All we can say is, you know, we know where we need to be. We know where we need to address, and hopefully the manager, the owner, the sporting director does it, which I have zero confidence they're going to actually do.
Zero confidence.
Level required.
I mean, all the teams, TJ, they're all out going for players right now. Liverpool just signed McAllister. Yeah, off the ball.
And Edu is on. And Edu's on.
It's a big problem. Traps, yeah. You're not supposed to take a pop at you. Looks what he said at you, yeah. Traps. Notice how after the EFL Cup, your team's ass fell out of form, drop season, done. Big settings. See, yeah, you're not. Thank you for that, yeah, because it is holistically. See, Traps, you've heard what you're not said, and it's fact, yeah. There was a drop off after that Carabao final, yeah, Carabao Cup final, a big drop off. Address that, number one. And again, do you see?
I'm not gonna address that. I'm not gonna address that. That's nonsense. Because at the end of the day, yes, there's a form drop off, but at the end of the day, when after the EFL Cup final, you lot was top of the league. You lot had a drop off yourselves. So at the end of the day, our season finished last week Saturday. That's our season. So for me, I don't understand what he means by this. Season done beach settings. Our season done last week. When did yours finish? Yours finished the minute Liverpool equalised. That was when your season was finished. The minute Liverpool equalised, your season was done. So what then? What am I supposed to sit there and have these conversations?
Okay, see, yeah, good. Let's look holistically into our teams right now. Traps, I'll start with you. Manchester United, with your positioning this season, yeah, do you think your club is positioned to challenge for the title next season? Are you seeing lots of movement in the market that makes you feel like, oh yeah, we're onto something next season?
I mean, for me, Erik ten Hag has had a good season his first season. I mean, when they first came here, I caused a bit of an uproar with some of the fellow fans that I know, saying that Ten Hag is a nobody and he needs to come here. He's a nobody in English football and needs to come here and prove himself. The only thing I knew about Ten Hag was that he bottled a 3-0 lead to Ajax. I don't watch Dutch football, so he'll have to come here and prove himself. Has he done that? For me, winning the Carabao Cup, finishing third, qualifying for Champions League, no. There's still work to be done. And looking at where we are now.
Honest. That was honest. Wow.
Looking at, but you don't have these conversations with me because you just want to talk nonsense. But obviously, if I'm going to be honest about it, So going forward, we've got a takeover. I don't know what's going on with it. The Sheikh's put in a bid saying that just take it or leave it. He said he's got till tomorrow, but he said he's not taking it off the table. So I don't know what's happening. I feel like Man United actually do have bigger fish to fry in terms of a takeover. But I mean, Mason Mount, that one seems hot. There's Axel Disasi and Kim is his name Kim Jung Lee or whatever his name is. I can't remember what his name is.
Kim Min Jae.
Yeah, Kim Min Jae. That's it. Yeah, that him from Napoli as well. I mean, obviously with Højlund as well and Kane. I don't really know about that, but to be honest with you, Mount's not for me. But at the end of the day, I back the manager. He's earned his right now to go on and try and improve the next season. Looking at the season what we've had this season, like we lost to our first 2 games, 14 points from we finished 14 points behind City, which is an improvement from compared to the last 20. We used to finish 20, 21, 22 points behind them. But yeah, I mean, for now, like I said, as long as Ten Hag gets his targets, what he wants, not what I want, because if it was up to me, I'd have Mbappe out there here tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? So as long as he gets the targets he wants and he gets back to the transfer market, I would expect him. I'd expect a title challenge anyway, and I think he would as well.
But see, yeah, Traps, yeah, there's this thing in my head, and it's just lingering there, yeah. See, Erik Ten Hag, yeah, we've seen the way he handled Cristiano Ronaldo at the football club legend, yeah. We saw how he handled that guy, yeah. That guy booted out of the club. Good. He failed to kiss the ring, booted out of the club, yeah. Maguire, we've seen what happened. Club captain, yeah. Horrible displays. Many other players have horrible displays, right? Disgracefully kept on the bench. Of course, he wants to go to Tottenham Hotspurs. I pray he does that. But do you think that Erik Ten Hag, as he is right now, do you think he has any pull? A pull for the big players, a pull for the classic players. Can any budding player out there, yeah, look at Erik Ten Hag's project and say, you know what, yeah, I want to come into this football club, not just only for the club itself, but I want to come because of Erik Ten Hag. I want to come because I believe in his project. Does he have that pull for you? Because right now, I'm not seeing the big stars coming in. And Cristiano Ronaldo, you saw how he was treated. That's why I made allusions to that.
I mean, if you're looking for big stars, like you'd have to elaborate on that and say, what big stars do you think that we should be getting?
I'm talking of the Neymars of the world. I'm talking of the Mbappes. Mind you, Manchester United's a big club, and you have Champions League football this season.
Well, Mbappe's at PSG. He signed a deal for and they turned down 220 million. That's unrealistic.
It doesn't matter. You're Manchester
no, you're
United.
talking. All right, cool.
We got a big player, and you want him, you can give him a blank check.
Okay, cool. So last season we had a saga with Frankie de Jong. Frankie de Jong wouldn't come. We ended up with Casemiro. Casemiro's been outstanding. Casemiro's a big player. Yeah, he's a big player. Look at Madrid. Everyone bangs on about Kroos and Modric. Kroos and Modric won fuck all this season. You know, without their trusty Casemiro by their side. So Casemiro is a big player, and he came for a lot of money. And I don't see if someone like Casemiro is going to believe in a project and connect with the fans and tell Ten Hag that he's going to fix this and whatnot. So I don't understand what you're getting at, to be honest, because like I said, there's no player that's flat out rejected Man United and said, you know what, we're not interested, or I'm going to go elsewhere. So I don't understand this question.
Let me chime in.
Do you have any ideas? Of course, you've heard what Traps have said. Any ideas?
When you start saying stuff like, "Oh, the manager Ten Hag," listen, no player, obviously some players, right? Only certain managers, obviously, right? Only certain managers picks up the phone and calls you.
You know, you would have shot yourself in the foot down there if you out of context there. Yeah.
Let me finish. Only certain managers pick up the phone, call you, and it's like, okay, I'm coming. But even when certain managers pick up the phone and call, do you think Man City didn't try to get Jude Bellingham? They still went to Real Madrid. You know what I mean? So the club itself has a pull, right? So it doesn't matter whether Ten Hag is the one in the driving seat at Man United. Ten Hag could be gone tomorrow. I mean, he will leave before the players leave. There's players there that have been there for time. I mean, you still got Phil Jones there, still from Alex Ferguson.
He's gone now. It was there.
But what I'm saying is, Manchester United as a football club will attract these players regardless of whether it's Ten Hag there or whoever. If the players want to come to Manchester United, they will come to Man United. Like, they will attract these players. It's still a massive club. The only problem is now there is a bigger boy in town. So when Man United comes calling for a player, for example, and then City go, "Oh, how you doing, mate?" He goes, "Yeah, what did he say?" And it listens more, because when you talk about trophies, there's only certain teams that are winning trophies. And right now, every player is searching for a trophy. They're searching for a team that they could join that could win them, that they could win a trophy in. Do you mean? I guarantee you now, Kovacic from Chelsea, right? The first thing that what happens in Man City is this, and this is a joke, obviously, but what happens in Man City is this: when a player comes to Man City, right, you go into Pep Guardiola's office for the first meeting, And there's something called the PBP, right? It's Pep Guardiola pill. That first meeting, when you go into that office, right?
Oh my
And,
God. Onome
it's
going
a
matrix on
secret.
us.
What? Let me finish.
TJ
It's a
Warren.
secret, right? Let me finish. I'm revealing the secret. BP. So the Pep Guardiola pill, right? Let me finish, right? Let me finish. Pep Guardiola pill, right? You go into his office. There's a cup of water waiting for you, and the blue pill is there. The minute you come into his office and you have that first conversation with him, and you step out of that office, you are stepping out a different person. He turns into an animal, right? You step out a different person. And Kovacic, I guarantee you now, comes to Man City. If he does, comes to Man City, and he'll be lifting trophies from tomorrow.
Oh
Do you know what I
my
mean?
God.
So there's just certain
You see,
clubs
the
that
It won't be
the
because of
luxury.
Kovacic, though.
And I believe it. No,
It won't
I
be because
believe
of
it. I
Kovacic,
actually
though.
believe it. TJ Warren, TJ Warren, yeah. Do you believe it that Arsenal, yeah? See, these guys can attract these players. Forget all these things we're talking about. If Pep says he wants this player and he means to want that player at Man City, the player himself would say, you know what, yeah, I like this coach. I believe in what he's going to do. I believe I'm going there to win trophies. And he would oblige. That's what I feel. But TJ, yeah, I really do think that the opposite is our lot. Mikel Arteta. Do you think this guy can attract the biggest of players out there to come and help us in our Champions League challenge?
I don't think we've seen enough of him in Europe to know. Like he's been in Europe 3 times, and we didn't have the squad depth to win anything. So I'm not, I agree with what the assembled was saying earlier. TJ, we got the investment in the squad for top 4, but not for anything else. Like I agree, but I disagree with the notion that Kovacic is going to come in. He's going to sit in Pep Guardiola's office, and then he's going to be the second coming of Messi. No, he's not.
No, he's not.
I'm the only reason he's going to win it. Yes, he's going to lift a trophy, but that's not going to be because, we brought in Kovacic. Kovacic is dead. The fact that they're even bringing this guy in is to back people up. That's it. That's just for depth. He's a depth signing. He's not going to do garbage. He's not going to automatically be a world beater.
So imagine we're taking a Chelsea first team player to be our squad depth and back someone up.
Yeah, I know. That's the draw. That's the pull that Man City has because you guys have a winning pedigree. We don't. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Like, so I think that a lot of positive things are going to need to happen for Mikel Arteta in Europe. And that means investment before we can get players in. We're going to have to pay for Declan Rice. We're going to have to pay for Caicedo. Those guys are not going out. Like Caicedo was shaking his bum for us back in the winter. I haven't seen that now. And now we want to see like the Declan Rice rumors. I'm not believing those yet either because he just won a trophy at West Ham. Are we really going to go out there and we're going to pay $90 million for this guy? I don't know. And I don't think it's necessarily an attraction to the project. I think it's whether or not Arsenal brass is going to be willing to pay the asking price, to pay the toll that these teams are requiring to bring in the top talent.
So wait. Let me get this here. So it's not that Mikel Arteta can't attract the players. Do you think he can attract the players? That's what I'm saying. Because
want to play for.
Jez was here about a week ago. Jez said this guy can't attract players.
Tony, we've seen that people want to play for Arsenal. We've seen that. We've seen it. Mudryk wanted to play for Arsenal. Freaking Rice wants to play for Arsenal. Caicedo wants to play for Arsenal. But the teams that currently own those players are not going to take a freaking bum under like low ball deal. They're not going to do it.
Yeah. Can I interject? Yeah. Can I interject? Mudryk wanting to play for Arsenal and ending up at Chelsea is a ridiculous take. I'm not gonna lie. That's not showing anything to say that Arsenal have a problem with buying players and they're not aggressive enough in the transfer market That's why they lose out on
Yeah, that's
players.
exactly what I'm saying.
Caicedo might have turned around and said he wanted you lot in January, but Caicedo also said something about Real Madrid. Caicedo also said something about Manchester United. I even seen Caicedo liking Man City's pictures the other day. Yeah, so I mean,
I'm talking
But
in the
he
context
didn't
of
talk about
January.
he
Like
didn't talk
Traps,
about
you're
Manchester
literally just
United.
saying back what I
He
just
didn't
said.
talk about Manchester United.
no,
though.
I'll talk about Manchester United, but
He didn't talk about Manchester United though. If you
No,
said
bruv,
he
it's all-
talked about Manchester United, please, man, show me receipts. He
it's
didn't
on
talk about
Google.
Manchester.
And do you know what? Do you know what, Tony? I'm not like Arsenal fans. I don't care who talks about United. You know, sign the deal, sign the contract, and then we'll talk.
Signed the deal, right?
Imagine this, yeah. Imagine this. Last week, I had guys in my DMs talking about Ugarte. Yeah, he's coming to Chelsea. I'm
To
saying,
Chelsea.
look, it doesn't work like that no more. Next thing you know, he's at PSG. I'm not. It's the same. It was the same argument last season with Lisandro Martinez. Martinez is coming to Arsenal. He's coming to Arsenal. Where's the logic behind this? That he's the Ten Hag signing from his old team, and how is he going to go to Arsenal and not follow Ten Hag? And it came out that he said, "I'm going to Arsenal, but if you want me, I'm there." So, for me, Man United don't have a problem with getting players or pull or whatever you lot want to call it. Even with Man City, I don't see Man City as a problem. Our owners as a problem. Our owners buying players and actually spotting talent, that's a problem. But in terms of buying players to come and play for Manchester United, we don't have a problem with that. So I don't know what to say to you. Like, I mean, you say about squad investment, 21 players, £500 million later, and you're talking about squad depth. That should be the least of your worries right now.
No, I agree with you. We spent $35 million on a scarecrow. Like,
But you know what, TJ? Yeah, do you know what, TJ?
This
The
guy,
thing is, right?
TJ,
At the end of the TJ, you know what is? You can sit there and cuss these players, right? But you have to remember this: they got bought by Arteta. They're his players.
I'm not
wanted them.
defending Arteta.
Like, I mean, obviously, I'm not. I would say Arteta doesn't. It's not Arteta out time, yeah. But at the same time, like, you lot need to take these Arsenal goggles off for a second and look at some of the things that this guy's doing.
Wait,
Literally,
breath,
I'm not
just
calling
said-
for Arteta's
this-
head, and
this
I'm
is-
getting
see,
shit about
This
it.
is the two-faced kind of thing I don't like. Yeah, in one breath you
You're
said
putting
Mikel
words- and you're
Arteta
putting
is
words in my
21
mouth
players.
again,
In
Trav.
another breath,
No,
you're
I'm not saying that you.
oh,
I'm not saying that you said that, TJ. I'm just saying
okay,
that's
okay.
my
Will you
take on it.
take
I'm not saying that
Mikel
you said
Arteta
that.
right now in your football club? Will you take him right now?
Who?
Perhaps you. Would you take Mikel Arteta?
I wouldn't take Arteta as a player, as a coach, as a flipping
Good.
cleaner. Yeah, I wouldn't
Good.
take him as
Nice
a
one.
cleaner.
Onome, will you? Let's say Pep resigns. Will you take Mikel Arteta as your football coach right
I'll tell
now?
you this now, yeah. Right?
Yes or no?
Hold on. Let me finish.
No.
Right?
It's an open end. See. Yes or no? Will you take Mikel Arteta as a replacement for Pep Guardiola if he resigns from Manchester City today?
The thing
Yes
is,
or
right?
no?
The thing is, right?
Onome, I'm sorry, sir. Please, yes or no? Will
The
you
thing
take
is, the thing
Mikel
you don't
Arteta
realize is this.
as your
The thing you don't realize is this. The thing
in
you don't
your
realize
club
is this.
after Pep
The thing you
Guardiola
don't realize is
exit
this.
that
What you
stadium?
don't realize is this, right?
Onome,
Mikel
yes or no?
Arteta
I demand an
getting
answer from you,
trained.
Onome.
Mikel
Yes or
Arteta,
no? Will you
let
take
me-
Mikel Arteta into
You're
your
not going to
team?
get me to. I'm
Win
going
you an FA
to
Cup,
explain
and
what I
the
need
next
to.
Hey, come on,
players
Tony,
doesn't
man.
understand
Tony, just
No,
let him
I
answer,
wanna
man. We're
understand
going
the
around in
logic
You're
circles.
gonna let
behind
me.
it.
You're gonna let me explain what I need to explain so you can understand it, right? Bottom line is, Mikel Arteta was going to school. He had his bag, he had his chalk and his pencils, and he was going to school and he was training under Pep, right? The idea back then was that Pep was training him to be his successor at Man City, right? If all of that boded well, Mikel Arteta would have been in line to say maybe take the job in a few years' time. What he then realized was Pep wasn't ready to leave anytime soon, right? Arsenal came calling, right? He hadn't finished school. In fact, he was actually going to class on the day Arsenal came calling. He had Maths 101 to learn on that day. And it was like, whoa, come here. You can't go to class today. That's what happened with Mikel Arteta, right? And you guys decided to take a risk on him. Now, you've taken a risk on him. The guy's actually brought you a trophy firsthand, right? An FA Cup, right? He's improved you. You finished second
It
in the
wasn't
league
his
last
team.
year. He's improved you every year. You finished second in the league. I think you guys need to be a little bit more grateful, right? Rather than go, Mikel Arteta, Mikel Arteta,
No.
No, these are lies, and anyone spreading
It's
this
not a
type of
lie.
thing-
I mean, it's not a lie. You're
It's
just
a lie.
twisting it
It's
around.
all
Look,
lies.
man,
It's
like
all lies. It's disinformation. And you know what? See,
What?
he is
It's facts.
He's
It's
laughing.
facts.
Onome
But
is
you
it's
never
laughing.
facts, but you're
If you
framing
wanna
it in a way
stop,
because
that
in the
makes him
Champions
look
League after
really
8 years.
good.
It's
That was
facts.
Unai
They
Emery's
want us to
team,
stop,
and
but they don't
Aubameyang
want
won it
him.
for him.
People like Traps, they don't want this manager. They don't want him.
We
People
can't
like
want him
Traps
because
and
I
Onome,
can't
they
want
don't
Mikel
want
Arteta because
anything
I'm not
like
paired.
Arteta. See, I
But
won't be
that's
the one to say Mikel Arteta out, but Arsenal should do the right thing. The board should do the right thing. Do the right thing.
You want to
Traps
sack a
has been
manager that
saying
just finished second in the league.
that
I've
Mikel
got to back
Arteta should
Champions
stay
League
at the
after 8
football
years.
club. That we
Really?
should be grateful. Grateful for what? Grateful for what? Is it that we won the title?
You should
We
be
just
grateful,
won the
yeah,
league.
that
Last
you've had
season we
9
got
months,
top
yeah,
four.
of your
What are you
smack
telling
talk,
me about?
yeah,
What
for
are
the
you
first
telling
time
me
in
about?
20 years.
So your club are bigger clubs. Your clubs
Pick
are
up the
bigger
chat.
clubs to
Smash the like.
win. By Arsenal is the bigger club to lose. I sincerely, I
Man
don't
City are not-
understand
Man City-
this
Man City-
dynamics here.
Man
I
City are
don't
not a bigger
understand.
club than Arsenal.
Currently,
No,
they are.
did you understand what I said? I said your own clubs are bigger clubs to win trophies. You just won the Mickey Mouse Cup. Onome just won the league title. Yeah, you just won
Yeah,
the
but you don't
FA
respect
Cup.
the Mickey
He's going
Mouse
to get
Cup,
a
though.
treble. He's
But
gonna
you
get
don't
the
respect
treble
You didn't
this
want the
season.
Mickey Mouse Club, did you, Tony? You didn't want
Arsenal
it.
is
You
out
didn't
here
respect
You didn't want
it.
it.
winning
That's what I'm saying. You
nothing.
don't respect
You just
that.
bought
Why are
the
you
league.
jealous
And
of
you
people
want
that
us,
wanted
and
it and won
seriously,
it?
you don't want the, no, see, this is what I will not take, yeah? I'm not even shouting for Arteta out. I'm not even saying that. But again, I don't want other rival teams to tell Arsenal fans, shut up, put
I
up
never
or
said
shut
shut
up,
up.
get
I never
behind
said
the
shut up.
manager. People got behind the manager this past season. So Arsenal fans can talk about this. They can have a conversation about this.
Nobody
Because
told you
we've
to
not
shut
won
up.
the title. We just bottled the title.
Listen, I just think,
That
yeah,
was-
I
that
just
the
think
stars were aligned for us to actually carry it this season. Don't you understand that? We bottled it. We bottled it.
Who
Onome,
lined
you're
up the
not
stars for you?
there.
Who
You're not
lined up the
supposed to
stars
sit
for you?
there as the title winners this season. I am the one supposed to win that title this season.
Get over it,
And he's
son.
hurt.
Get over it, son. Get over it, son.
He's
The title's
hurt.
done. It's gone.
TJ,
Get over
TJ,
it,
you
man.
want to say something, man? You want
No,
to say
no.
something?
I just want to say
Tired
that
of
there
rival
are
fans
nuances.
telling us- I'm
There are
tired of
nu-
rival fans telling us, hey, don't talk about this. Mikel Arteta is a good... No. We should have a conversation about it. But I wouldn't be the one shouting.
We know what winds him
out.
up now.
No, but let's have a conversation.
Traps,
Yeah?
we know what winds him up.
Shut us up. Yeah, TJ.
Tony. So there are nuances. Like it's not black and white with Mikel Arteta. Okay, so he comes in. Let's do a little history lesson because the way you were framing it was correct, but there are different ways of looking at it. So Mikel Arteta comes in. He wins the FA Cup off of the back of an Unai Emery built team and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Okay, we won that trophy. And we probably shouldn't have. We probably shouldn't have even been in that final, if you remember correctly. The game against Sheffield prior to the game, closed doors beating Chelsea at Wembley. Okay, the things like I'll give Mikel Arteta his flowers for where he got us in the league because he got that team honestly to overperform with the depth that we had. Okay, so that's why I'm not necessarily calling for him to be out, but he is on a short leash with me. So we can say, yeah, Mikel Arteta has overperformed to a point, but we were also promised certain things when he came in. Champions League football earlier than we actually got it. Success later than we got it. We had 2 8th place finishes, a 5th place finish. Okay. Now we need to see what this guy has in a Champions League setting and with players, hopefully, that we bring in over the transfer window. So it's not like, here's the thing is people want to like paint it as Arteta in, Arteta out. I really don't think it's that simple. So the fact that we're just saying, hey, he's learning on the job. He is learning on the job, but he has done some good. Has there been trouble along the way? Yes, but it hasn't been 100% terrible. You have seen marked improvement.
Thank
Okay.
you. That's all I'm saying.
But that's all. But no. Here's the thing: is that Arteta, in my opinion, does not have a
I said
job.
all I'm saying. But
Does
your
not
football
have
club,
a
there's
job.
no
Hold
all
on,
I'm
Tony.
saying.
Hold on,
You're
Tony.
out
Tony,
here
Tony,
winning
Tony.
trophies.
I gotta make this
Tony,
point.
Tony,
I
Oh
gotta
my
make this
God.
point, Tony. I gotta make this point. Mikel Arteta does not have a job if Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang doesn't win that FA Cup for him. That's it.
Someone's got to do it for you, right? Someone's got to do it.
I'm just saying. Look, I'm anxious to see what happens in the first 10 games of the season, and I'm anxious to see what happens in the group stage of the Champions League.
I think
That'll
now,
tell the
yeah.
tale.
Manchester
now-
United sacked their club legend who was actually getting them Champions League football. Yeah? They sacked a club legend. Yeah? They
Levels
did
and
away
standards,
with-
levels and standards are different for that club,
Yeah.
bro.
City sacked Mancini, a Premier League winning coach. Pellegrini, he won a title at the FA Cup or whatever he won for them. You guys sacked him. So I don't see where this thing is. Like, Arsenal fans shouldn't talk about, because you guys have been able to be okay, but I've seen some other fans, just telling Arsenal fans, shut up. You don't have to discuss about it. And I have a problem with that. Even if I'm not even like totally Mikel Arteta out, because I do know that there's a problem. Like right now, we're supposed to go sign Caicedo. Right now, look at Liverpool. Even without the market even being open, these guys have gone out to sign McAllister. Tap, boom, quickly. Yeah, their board know that they dished out
That's how Liverpool
disastrous
did
football.
They did that with Van Dijk as well.
Well, see, Liverpool knew that this season they dished out disastrous football to their fan base. So they have to go and get midfielders, and that's what they've done. Even without the market even opening, we've already seen these guys identifying players, bringing players in. But
I don't think it's that clear cut, Tony. I'll be honest with you.
We're still haggling.
I don't think it's.
We're still
I don't
haggling.
think. I don't think it's that clear cut with Liverpool. I think with Liverpool, what you have to remember with Liverpool, Liverpool are if they don't make profit, they don't spend. Yeah. So what's happened to them this season is, and Milner, the situation with Milner has come to an end. They have squeezed all the life possible out of James Milner. Yeah, James Milner's gone. They have to replace him. They have looked for the cheapest solution in replacing him, and that's to access McAllister. I'm not saying McAllister's a bad player. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying they was forced into acting because they don't have a Milner no more. You know what I mean? They have to. It was forced into acting. McAllister is definitely an upgrade, but it's not as clear cut as that. I mean, the problem that you have with that. Listen,
But again, how can you call a signing?
The problem with English
Well,
football.
again, how can you call a signing that they targeted? They've targeted this guy almost through mid-season. This past
Bruv, they
season.
they had Jordan Henderson babysitting Jude Bellingham at the World Cup, babysitting him, following him around, bro, if he went to to do a shit, yeah, Jordan Henderson was passing the toilet tissue, yeah. That's what was going on, and they ended up with nobody. He went to Madrid. So this is my point. These things you see, they make think, oh, they're doing it, so why ain't we doing it? That's not the case. Man City talks about Kovacic. They ain't signed Kovacic yet. Caicedo's looking for his best option. Yeah, and Declan Rice has just won a trophy, his final game for Man City, for West Ham yesterday. So, there's no point looking at Liverpool in the Europa League settings, trying to get. Because let's be honest about it, yeah. If anybody was really was Arsenal went in for McAllister, United went in for McAllister, City went in for McAllister. So if anyone was really in for McAllister, yeah, the only reason why he's jumped ship and gone to Liverpool is because it makes sense for him, because it's Europa League football either way, but I'm playing it in a better team. So the situation is completely different. If Man City come knocking at McAllister's door, he would not be at Liverpool right now.
Oh, definitely not. We know that.
Even Newcastle. If Newcastle came knocking at the door for McAllister, Liverpool would have problems right now, because it's an upgrade. It's an opportunity for him to go into a team that's actually on the upgrade.
And this is why Liverpool's done their business early, because they know that these teams can come calling.
Exactly.
Because guess what? If you leave McAllister for another maybe 3-4 weeks, and we find out the situation with Ilkay Gundogan and Bernardo Silva, we could go in for McAllister. We could, because he is one of the midfielders we did look at. But obviously, our situation, we don't know what Gundogan is doing yet, or what Bernardo's situation is going to be.
But this is for you. Yeah. Why is City looking at players like Kovacic? Is that a downgrade, or what's really happening, man?
Well, we're signing
He's
the
not
Chelsea.
really
We're
Because for
signing
me,
the
it's a
Chelsea first
downgrade.
team
You're the
player.
champions, yeah? For Kovacic.
We're signing the Chelsea first team player to be a squad player for us, for that squad depth that you keep talking about, right? This is the difference, right? When you guys talk about squad depth, right? You got the likes of Vieira, who's a nobody, who I don't want to disrespect, who's a nobody or,
He is
or
a
hasn't
nobody.
done anything, no experience, and you want to put that up and call it squad depth. What Man City do is they go and take your first team player and they bring them over here for squad depth. That is the difference. What I mentioned earlier on, we've got 17 quality players and youth team players to back them up. All 17 players can play in the first team, can be starting week in, week out. That's what we do. So when Kovacic comes in, this is a guy that's got how many Premier League games and so experienced in the Premier League. If we need him to play week in, week out, he bloody can. Do you understand what I mean? He can, if we need him to. Do you understand? So when you talk about squad depth, there is a way to do the squad depth situation. Not signing any Timbuktu, not signing anybody that say, I'm a footballer, I've got football boots. Yeah, I can kick the ball, I can pass the ball. That's not what squad depth's about. Squad depth's about signing players that you know what? He's going to be happy coming in and he's going to be happy playing the role you want him to play, which is, Kovacic, you're not first choice, you're not first choice, but listen, if you work hard and stuff, you will play. He knows that he's going to get 25 games, 25 starts a season at City. That's more than enough. Why do you think
The thing
Mahrez
is,
hasn't left?
well, yeah. The
Mahrez
thing is
is
as well, yeah. You see these man CVs. Like you have to look at Kovacic's CV. He's won Champions League like 4 times.
Played in the World Cup final.
Do you know what I mean? He's been in a World Cup
my
final.
God.
What are you talking about?
Like, you see when you have certain
TJ, will you be excited if you heard that Arsenal was going for Kovacic?
This is your problem.
Wait. No, let's hear from TJ. Let's hear from TJ.
I don't want
please,
any
will
more
you be
Chelsea rejects in
excited?
my club.
Oh my God. I'll believe it. I'll believe it if Edu nails the space. See, not even talk to the player. If I see that guy come up as a name, as a target for Arsenal this season, see, I'll stop streaming. How about that?
Can I make a point?
Lock up shop, yeah?
Can I make a point?
Well, this is what makes me
use
laugh.
my computers and do some other project.
This is what makes me laugh, yeah.
Oh,
This is what makes me laugh, yeah.
No.
You would turn.
No.
Listen,
Big ups, the Southern Gunner is down there, yeah. Southern Gunner, my brother, man. Big ups, man.
Listen,
Big ups.
you don't will sit there and say, "Oh, you're going to stop streaming because if Arsenal was in for Kovacic," but you lot were so happy. Look at the difference, right? You're talking about a player that's actually won the Champions League with Chelsea and Madrid, right? Then you're sitting there. No, wait, let me finish. Let me make my point. But you lot were sitting there, so excited. Mentality, yeah. Zinchenko's coming. He's got mentality. He's played 75 games in 5 years for Man City. 75 games.
Exactly. You're
in 5
excited
years.
about that.
But you talk about mentality.
You're excited about that. Really?
It's crazy, man.
And then I heard on his stream, and I heard on Tony's stream, talking about Ilkay Gundogan. I don't want Man City's reject.
Oh, I'd take Ilkay Gundogan in a second.
At the cup final. What are you talking about?
I'd take Gundogan in a second. I'm not.
I don't understand your mentality. You talk about second players and you just waffle. And I listen to it and I'm like, do you even have an idea what you're talking about?
Actually twisting my words. You've perfected the art.
I was on your stream. I watched the stream when whoever you invited said, I don't want Gundogan. Man City's reject. Gundogan should not come near our club. Gundogan?
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of having over 30s in my midfield.
You've got youngsters everywhere. They need to be guided for a few years.
I understand that. I'm not taking anything from his quality. Understand this. There's nothing wrong about his quality. But I have a problem with Arsenal having over 30 midfielders in my first team. I don't want that. Partey, 30. If Ike Gundogan comes in, 30. El Neni, 30. And trust me, he's going nowhere. Yeah, he's going nowhere. This football club won't push him out of the club. He's staying.
He just signed a new deal, did he?
My football club will even give him another contract next season. See, yeah, guys. See. I've just named 3 over 30s right now. Do you know the fourth one? Jorginho. Where did he come from? A Chelsea reject. I'm tired of this reject. Get me players that are young, hungry, and that are warriors. And that are warriors. That
All I'm
will
saying
come
is
in
put some
and galvanize
respect on
my
Gundogan's
team.
name and do not
Who
ever
told
call
you
him
that
a
I
Man
cannot
City
get a
reject.
Caicedo
Don't ever
into
do
my
that.
team and also have a Declan Rice in my team? These are young players, Premiership proven, warriors, Zulu warriors, like my brother
Tony,
Max
can
on
I
the
ask you a
South
question?
Korea
Can,
would
can I
say.
ask you a question, Tony?
Warriors.
Can I ask you a
Bring
question?
this kind of players in. What about James Maddison? A guy who would score goals for me from the midfield. At least we're short of 18 goals in the season. No one is talking about this guy. Why is it about Ike Gundogan? And again, if Ike comes to my team, what makes you sure that it will have the same kind of impact that he's had in Man City?
Of course
It's
it
not
would.
sure.
Of course it would. Anybody that leaves Man City
Because
ain't
the
gonna have the same
dynamics
impact
in
as me because
Arsenal
it's not
might
Man
not
City.
suit Ike Gundogan. And he's
Tony,
not a
can I ask you
Messi. He's not a Messi that can lift a team single-handedly. So I do have my questions, and it's an
Can I
aging
ask you a
player.
question, Tony? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why do you think that Arsenal can go into the transfer market, pick £100 million player, pick another £75 million player, and think that they can argue, not even argue, they can get these transfers over the line? Because bearing in mind, you're saying that, well, not what you're saying, but obviously there's bigger fish in the league that if they want players, they'll get them. So don't you think that it's more reasonable to say you have to shop in your lane, and your lane is not that lane?
Stay in your financial lane, like Kevin Hart says.
Why are people
Is it
calling
not fair to
Gundogan underwhelming? Can I interrupt? Why are people calling Gundogan underwhelming?
I've
I
not
don't
said
know.
he's underwhelming.
I don't get
know
where
if
that's
other people
coming
have
from at
not
all.
said he's underwhelming.
TJ,
I said
would
he's an acceptable
you
player.
be happy with that signing?
Yes. Are you kidding?
Exactly. Thank you.
Are
Fair
you
enough.
joking? Okay, Kovacic is here. Okay, Gundogan. What were
Man,
people?
but
We
man,
just watched. We all saw that FA Cup
okay,
final.
that is-
Like what? I'm sorry. Like I disagree with anybody calling Gundogan mid. Are you serious?
Like,
Can't
what
be
are you
serious.
talking about? So disrespectful.
So yeah.
See, I didn't disrespect him. I just
Aston
said
Villa,
I have a
Aston
problem
Villa,
with his
last
age.
season, final game.
I don't want a player
What are you
that will
talking about?
come into a football club and then we start struggling to get him off when we've already put him on a big contract. And
You don't even
see,
have a
TJ,
big contract
it's
to give him in
easy
the
for us
first
to
place.
talk
You don't need to
this
put him on a
stuff.
big
Yeah, but
contract.
but
He's a bad man in my club.
look
See
at
what happened with Willian.
look
This should
at
show
things,
us.
yeah.
This should teach us.
He's not
So
Willian.
just go for Premiership proven players. That's what I'm saying.
William was
Premiership
but look
that
at
are
things,
young,
yeah.
that are young. It's not a problem if we go for that. It's no problem if we go for Caicedo. It's no problem if we get Declan Rice, bring them to the team. What about Maddison? Yeah, go get these guys here and add them to what we already have in that midfield. We'll do a bigger job. Yeah, I'm tired of Arsenal being a pensioners' home for all these guys. Yeah,
Who would you
don't
rather
come and
have,
end a pension.
Tony?
I'm tired of it. I'm
Tony,
tired
who
of
would
they
you
have
rather
no
have?
loyalty to Arsenal.
Would you rather
I'm
have
sorry.
James Maddison? Would you rather have James Maddison or Ilkay Gundogan in the midfield?
Me, if you're talking about me, I'll take an Ike Gundogan, but I have a
All
problem
right
with
then.
his age.
Okay.
No, but I have a problem with his age. Do you understand it?
I'll walk with you. Let's walk together. Let's all walk.
I'll deal with his
TJ
age when
left
he
us,
stops
right?
performing, bro. I'll deal with his age when he stops performing, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
No.
Get the bad man in my club. Get the guy who just scored a double in the freaking FA Cup into my club.
But again, TJ, what are the assurances, that Ike Gundogan will come to Arsenal? Even Manchester United. What are the assurances he could even go to Manchester United? Yeah?
The game that just happened last weekend, or my
we ain't getting Gundogan.
I don't think you can do it single-handedly. And this is the thing you guys don't really
We ain't
understand.
getting Gundogan.
Jesus came to Arsenal. He hasn't torn the league apart. Yeah, he hasn't done that. Zinchenko hasn't torn the league apart.
You can't compare the two, Tony. That's what I'm saying.
Because the jigsaw down there at Manchester City, it's something different. It's something different.
Let me
and they
explain
have a coach who can actually back that up.
Let me
Arsenal
explain
right
something. Let me
now
explain
doesn't
something.
have that.
Let
We
me
don't
explain-
have a
Tony,
manager that can back
Tony.
that up.
Tony, let me explain something to you. Let me just explain something quickly, right? Zinchenko at City was not part of the leading or leaders or whatever you want to call it. What Arsenal did was they took someone who is a supply teacher for us and made him a leader in your team. That's
Okay,
what he did.
yeah.
He wasn't
Good.
a leader.
Zinchenko-
Whoever
Yes,
gives
I
you
don't want
that
any more
wasn't
Zinchenko-
teachers from you. I
Listen,
don't want any more
Zinchenko-
teachers from your club. Take
Zinchenko
your
is not
teachers.
that guy.
Take
Yeah,
your
He's not that
teachers.
guy
I
at
don't
all.
need
was
no more
not that
teachers
guy.
from your
He's
club.
a supply
I don't think
teacher.
he's
Eddie, if
supply-
you are
Not that
listening to
guy.
this, don't listen to this rival fans.
Zinchenko
Go
was
and get
Mate,
Noah Caicedo.
Gabriel
Don't listen to
Jesus
this
was a
guy. This
backup
guy's
striker
spies. They are
to no
enemies.
striker.
Go and get Caicedo. All these guys here, Traps, Onome, all these guys are all, they're, see, all these guys here, they are all enemies as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, they don't
The
want
worst thing,
anything
you know,
good for
do you
Arsenal.
want to know the
Yeah.
worst thing about is? Do you know the worst thing about
Yeah,
is?
they don't
You
want
lot,
anything good.
you
They
lot are
still
talking
want us
about
to
go
have
get
one
Caicedo, go
manager
get
in
Caicedo,
that
go get
football
Caicedo.
club. Good and
You don't
okay.
need a
They
striker.
still want us to still go and get their pensioners and have them in the football club. I say no to it. We don't need
we
no
don't
more
have the
pensioners.
problems.
But
in
you
the
just
football
said you
club.
take
Hey,
Zinchenko.
hey,
You
hey,
just said
hey,
you
you see
take
that
Gundogan.
there, yeah?
I heard you say
That's
you take
Arsenal
Gundogan
problems,
over,
man. That's
over,
Arsenal
over,
problems.
Madison. I heard you say that.
That's Arsenal problems, man. I mean,
look,
Caicedo, yeah. If we could back, I think the whole point, the whole Caicedo thing. I feel like you need a number 9, a proper one. Like you can, that's the start.
Jesus
Right.
is not that guy. He's not going to score you the goals, mate.
But you need a centre back. In fact, you need another centre back because
we need another
you can't be
center
going-
back. We need another fullback. We need another center mid, and we need an out striker. I don't
Jesus
think
is not
anybody
gonna
will
score you the
disagree
goals.
with you guys. I'm just
We need
saying.
okay. We do need a winger
But here's
to
the
go
thing.
head to
Talking
head.
about, but here's the thing.
Bukayo
Yeah.
Saka.
Here's the thing. Yeah. You're
we
talking
need
about.
players
You're talking about.
forward, but
Wait, 1 second,
which-
Tony. 1 second, Tony. 1 second. You're talking about someone to sign Caicedo, Rice, this one, and the third. You're not offering Saliba 120 grand a week. Like
Exactly.
like-
Handle that problem. Handle
Like,
that.
bro, like you've got bigger fish to fry. You
No,
love bigger
Jesus.
fish to fry. Fry the bigger fish.
Now,
Right.
Chops is taking the piss now, yeah.
No, but you
TJ.
love that.
Bro,
You love to fry
Bro.
the fish.
bro, 120 grand is not enough for somebody that you guys rate as is one of the best centre backs in the league and stuff like that, right? And what it is a lot of people look at these monies and go, that's a lot of money. In this day and age, when average players are costing 80 million, 90 million and stuff, right? Where wages have gone over the roof, £120,000 is not enough for a first team player. Do you know what I mean? So Arsenal need to stop looking at that and stop looking at saying, oh, well, he's only on 15 grand now. That's a big jump. It's not a big jump because what he's doing is he's looking at other people's plates. He's looking at other centre backs in other clubs and he's thinking, hang on, what's going on here? Why would I take 120 grand when the reserve team striker for Tottenham or centre back for Tottenham or Nathan Ake, for example, or Man United's ones, for example, are on so much. Phil Foden is a prime example. Phil Foden was offered 150 grand. He was like, I want to wait for Haaland to come first before I sign my deal. And he waited. And when Haaland came and they were going to give Haaland an open check, wherever he's on, where, you take your pick, right? Phil Foden ended up getting 225 grand because he's like, I'm not going to be so far off Haaland.
Yeah.
And that's how it works. You can't.
No,
I
that's
mean,
exactly how that works.
another thing as well, yeah, is that you see, it's not even that. It's like if you're looking, if imagine this, you're playing in a team, right? This team's top of the league. You get injured and you watch this team decline, yeah, to the second. So you're a pivotal part of this team, yeah. And not only that, yeah, you spent years getting in that position. So you've gone on loan, you've sat on the bench, you've gone on loan again, and you're here now, and it's up for renewal now. You're saying to them, listen, I want to be secure for the next 5 years. I'm your centre back for the next 5, 6, 7 years. So you give me a good wage now and secure me because you've sent me to hell and back. I've proved myself. I've gone through it. You've seen how the team dysfunctions without me in it. I'm a pivotal part of this team. Maybe possibly a future captain. Yeah.
Oh,
Sign me up. Sign me up properly. And you're not doing it.
That's if he wants to stay. So I'm just saying,
Well,
we're not
because
disagreeing with
PSG
anything
are
you
offering-
say. I think the frustrating part for me and Southern Gooner Maddie, big up Maddie, already said is that we move so slow, and we're going to end up paying for it in the end. And I would not be surprised in the slide if Saliba leaves because we're
it's
low.
horrible, man.
You should be getting at
It-
least
it's horrible.
200 a week, at least.
Yes, that's what
So
it is.
I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just one of those things that frustrates me about our current sporting director. I've always been Edu out. I am Edu out 100% of the time. Because
Okay,
we are
Edu out,
dealing with
okay.
this, and I have to take this shit from you guys because we can't get the business done.
Yeah.
This has been fun.
See, yeah, guys, we've come to the end of this show. Yeah, Traps already signaling me. You know.
Oh no,
See,
sorry, Tony.
See,
There's a comment.
Onome,
I wanted to address.
we've
They
come to
called
the
me
end
in
of the
comments.
show.
They called me on the comments, right? The person said, Onome, if Gundogan wasn't a City reject, why have they offered him a subpar contract? Let me just address that, right? There's this rule that every club, pretty much almost every club has, right? When over 30 players, they only give them 1 year contracts or 1 year contract extensions, right? Now, that is a rule for the club. Now, what happens is when club starts to break rules for certain players, everybody's going to jump at that and go, well, you offer that one that, you offer that one that, and that's what happens, right? Do I think that there is exceptional players that should be, this rule should not apply to? Yes, I do. Players like Gundogan and De Bruyne, definitely it shouldn't apply to. But the problem is, if they do that for them, then you get Kyle Walker saying, well, you offered Gundogan that. I'm a big part of it. I've been here 8 years. You know what I mean? Then you got other players saying that. That is the problem. Gundogan wants a longer contract because he is over 30. He wants to secure his family. He wants at least 2 years. Now, I personally think the situation is going to get sorted. Gundogan will get the 2 years that he needs, and he will stay at City. He's not a City reject. Just because a player wants to leave or a player is out of contract or whatever, doesn't then automatically make that player a reject. Because if that's the case, then every player you sign is a reject from another club. Then why are we signing players then?
Okay.
That's why I got
good.
fired. That's why I got fired from my
yeah.
my career mode team. Is that the wages? All right, I'm done.
See, yeah, guys, please, could you shout out your channels? Yeah, please shout out where people could find you. Traps will close the show for us. But please, before we close this show, yeah, I just want us to go through this for the last time, since this is the season finale, yeah. Manchester City goes head-to-head against Inter Milan in the final on Saturday. Onome, who takes that win for you?
City all day, City all day. I don't even think it's going to be a close game like people are thinking it's going to be. That's not me sounding overconfident. Just hear me out. That's not me sounding overconfident, right? I just think City are way too hungry. These guys smell blood. Like literally, it's like the United game could have destroyed us in terms of I could have gone into this game panicking, thinking, oh my God, we just lost to United. Are we even going to get a double, right? Beating United and the confidence that we have and the way we've played recently, I don't even think it's going to be a close game. I think we're going to win this. We're going to score 3 to 4 goals in this game.
Okay, good. TJ, your predictions for that Man City Inter Milan, yeah?
3-1.
What do you think? And
3-1
again,
Man City.
3-1.
Yep, 3-1 Man City.
My God.
It's over, baby. The treble is on.
Yeah. Wow.
No hope, son. No hope, son.
Traps, it's all on you. Close the show for us. First of all, tell us what's your prediction for that matchup on Saturday, Man City Inter Milan. Then, of course, you'll be very biased in this, yeah? If these guys manage to pull this win and win this treble, do you think this is a more bigger treble than yours? Just saying, and close the show for us.
I don't know. I'm not answering silly questions because how can a treble be bigger than a treble? How does that make sense?
Exactly, I don't get that.
How does a treble be bigger than a treble?
I don't get that.
Does it?
Yeah, it's a stupid
No,
question.
which one is more
Listen,
spectacular?
you know what makes me laugh? Yeah,
No, which
another
one
thing
is
as
more
well.
spectacular?
Listen, what it is.
You
Arsenal
see, it's aimed, man. On the man, you guys better do the job. You better do the job.
I don't know why you
want people like Traps, yeah, to hold that treble over our heads again.
Can I put you know? Yeah, but listen, you want to say you're talking about us not winning, but this is where the mentality I don't understand, right? Because If City go and win the treble, it doesn't. They don't just erase the other treble out the rule book and put that one in there.
We equal it.
Like you equal what we've already done.
Mhm.
This is another team that has come
No,
after you lot and won a Champions
It
League
wasn't-
again. This is another
And
team.
surpass it.
Listen,
No, it
The
isn't.
way they won it.
listen,
What are you talking about, man?
listen. This is another team. Yeah, but Tony, like, all right, cool. Cool. Let me just show you up here for a second. Who did Man United play to
He's
win in that
stuttering.
Champions
That's
League?
what I wanted him to do. It's stuttering. It's
Who
stuttering.
did Man United? Who did Man United play to? Who did Manchester United play
Made you look.
to win? Who did Manchester United play in their Champions League when they won the treble? Who did they play in the Champions League?
I only know that you got beaten in the Europa League and you won.
When we won the
Mickey Mouse
treble? When we
I
won
don't
the
know,
treble?
bro.
So
Maybe
you're just
TJ
talking-
has an idea.
So effectively, you're just talking at your bumhole for the sake of it. That's basically what you're doing. Anyways, listen. If Man City win the Champions League, this is another team that has come and won the Champions League before Arsenal, yeah, before you lot, before Spurs. So you're sitting there saying, ha 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 ha. This is another team, yeah, like Chelsea, that have come along and won the Champions League before you lot. So you look at it of your 19 consecutive seasons in the Champions League, yeah.
A Champions League. Well, okay, good.
So yeah, so I think for the Man City and Inter game, I think everyone's written off Inter.
Not like it's two, it's just one, right? If
Everyone's-
Arsenal gets to win the Champions League next season, it won't equal it.
Listen, but anyways, I'm just gonna get
TJ,
Inter-
look away now. Look
Inter-
away now.
Inter. I think a lot of people have written off Inter, and I think Inter have been very good defensively. They've got an old Man City boy in Dzeko. You know how that goes when you play your old team. 9 times out of 10, you get a goal. I can see.
Willis?
Oh, sorry.
What you talking about, Willis?
I don't think that's.
I mean,
I don't think it's
like there
fair.
was before the final, but which they won the other day. They didn't concede a goal for like 13 or 12 games, and also, they're on for a treble themselves. So for me, I think it would be a close game. I can see, yeah, football heritage taking place, yeah, and yeah, Inter nicking it 1-0. I can see that happening.
Take your glasses off.
How did football
I don't
football
think-
heritage work
You're
out
winking-
for
you're winking
Real
like
Madrid?
bro.
How did football heritage reach out for or do for Real Madrid?
Yeah,
against-
the semi-final.
against
We're not
Yeah.
talking about Real Madrid here.
no, but that's all I kept hearing about. Football heritage, European heritage. It's garbage against this Man City team. It's garbage.
Okay, well, it might be garbage. It might be garbage, but the reality of things is that in the knockout stages, Man City have not won a game away from home. Like this is another thing.
We're not
that
in the
people-
knockout stages.
What?
We're not
Sorry?
in the knockout stages. It's a final.
Yeah, this is a knockout. This is the same thing. You either win or lose. You're out. Done. It's the same thing. Yeah,
Statistic.
so
All that statistic doesn't matter.
It's not about
We're
statistics.
about to
And
play
listen,
final.
it don't makes me
You think
laugh.
they're gonna be
Everyone's
thinking
asking me
Man
my.
City
Listen,
fan,
wait,
it
hold
doesn't
on. Everyone's
They
asked
don't
me my
matter.
opinion, and I've given my opinion, and now you're trying to go like my opinion is not valid. What the fuck? It's an opinion. It's a fucking opinion, bruv.
Yeah, it's his opinion. Yeah, you guys no challenge.
Well said, sir. Well said, sir.
Well said, Trash. Well said.
Guys, yeah.
You got us on that one. You got us on that one.
This is the season finale of our show together, me and Traps Booming. Yeah, next season we'll have more time. We'll bring out more time, and we'll see where this goes. The rival show will be back on full throttle. Champions League, Traps got Champions League, Arsenal Champions League. Let's see what we're gonna do. Let's see who's gonna go for the trophy next season. Traps, it's been lovely and amazing working with you, brother. It's a little bit hard, going through your Instagram post and all your memes about me, but and all your memes against
You got
Arsenal
plenty more to
fans.
come for what? Listen, you have got plenty more to come as well. So you can enjoy the next couple of weeks because you think what you tried to do on Saturday was a disgrace. It was unbelievable. It was a lack of self-awareness, and now you will have to pay. So when I'm clipping you up and saying this is what you said 3 months ago, this is what you're saying now, I have all the evidence I need now. Thank you for having me on. Yeah, this show.
You've had
next
TJ,
season-
and of course, TJ is my partner. I've been with him lots of times. You've had lots of Instagram run-ins with this guy, you and TJ. words have been said. So hopefully next season, you know, me, you, and TJ will be going at it, you know, quite well. And of course, it'd be nice for you, Traps, to also go visit TJ Warren TV. He's doing great down
Traps,
there.
you're
You know,
welcome
you just have to
anytime.
check out that project, the American
Yeah,
Idiot,
just-
growing,
Yeah, just let me know
growing
when.
economically. See ya,
Yeah.
guys. Thank you for coming to the show. Traps, you have anything to say?
It's good to see Tony has finally accepted humble pie. A little bit of self-awareness. He tried to wriggle out of it a couple of times, but I think he understands now that all is fair in love and war, and Arsenal finished second with nothing, and we had a better season, and I'm gonna enjoy the summer now.
See ya, guys. Yeah. TJ, please shout out your channel. I forgot about that. Please.
Yeah. Okay.
TJ,
I'll
shout out
address.
your
I'll do it real quick. Across the Pond Sports Talk is calling me a Chelsea fan because I say I'm a supporter of Bottle Job FC. You're better than that across the pond. We got to hold it. Okay. I'll when July comes around, I will be full staff for Arsenal again. But right now, I'm still pissed off. TJ Warren TV. The American Idiot Show tomorrow. We're welcoming Deji Spurs, aka Deflecting Deji, onto the show. 9 p.m. UK time. We're gonna have a live Q&A. Follow me, sub, hit the notification bell for me, Tony, Traps, everybody on here. It was awesome again. Tony, thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, TJ. Yeah, and next season, me and you watch alongs.
Oh yeah, the watch alongs will
Onome,
continue.
we will continue definitely. Onome, big ups to you, man. Where can we find you? I know we can't find you.
I'll
You'll
find you.
find us, right? Yeah,
I'll find
exactly.
you.
Onome, thanks this season, man. You've been apart from you being my friend, you've been a brother, man. Thank you for coming to this show much time. Thanks for being our contributor from Man City. Thanks, man. I really, really do appreciate it. I know I don't, you know, dish out any goodies yet or something like that, but you at least come in here and show love, man. Big ups to you and thanks, and hopefully we'll do it next season. Traps, big ups to you, man. We'll start our rivalry, you know, later on. Everyone, big ups, yeah? Big ups.
Peace.
Peace.